Hello everyone. I welcome you all to second year of MBA program and I congratulate you for becoming seniors. So I hope you will do your duty more responsibly and guide your juniors who are eagerly awaited by the department. So this is Dr. Mahesh M. Vanjeri, Assistant Professor, Department of Management Studies, SDM College of Engineering and Technology, Dharwad. So in this semester, for HR students, I will be teaching compensation and benefits management. So let's make a beginning by understanding the syllabus of the subject. Okay. So title of the course is compensation and benefits management. So which we generally know as salary in India. Subject code is 18P MBAH 303. It is a 3 credit course, hence you will have 3 theory classes per week. So let's begin with the course learning objectives. To begin with the first, the subject enables you to know the theoretical and practical developments in the compensation and benefits. Second objective, it deals with the key issues in managing employee reward systems. Third, to develop appropriate reward and compensation policies. It will enable you to understand how to establish factors to consider when developing a compensation structure, and it will help you to identify links between compensation objectives and business strategy. Okay, so let's briefly go through the contents of the subject. So unit 1 deals with introduction to compensation. So where we learn some basic concepts related to compensation, like what is compensation, components, nature of compensation. Okay. Then second unit deals with internal alignment, and the third unit deals with external competitiveness. So like a SWOT analysis. Okay, the matters that are related internally to the organization with respect to compensation and benefits management, and the external competitiveness of the company in designing a suitable compensation will be discussed. Unit 4, okay, we learn how to develop a performance based compensation system. And Unit 5, we consider legal and administrative issues in managing compensation. And Unit 6, we learn, okay, for a multinational company like Walmart, Procter and Gamble, okay, so how they manage compensation and benefits in different countries, okay. So from a global perspective, so we are going to learn global compensation in Unit 6. And about the textbook, so you will get a textbook by title Compensation, okay, by Milkovich and Newman. So it's ninth edition, and the publisher is McGraw-Hill Education. So that was a brief about the syllabus. So now let's make a beginning. Okay, let's make a beginning to Unit 1, Chapter 1. Okay. So Unit 1 deals with the introduction to compensation. So in that, first we are going to learn the pay model. Okay, the pay model enables a company to examine, okay, the pay model gives a frame of reference to examine the present compensation system for any company. Okay, so as well as the contents of this pay model will be learned throughout the syllabus or textbook. So anyway, we'll learn more about the pay model. To begin with, so what are the chapter topics? What we are going to learn in this topic? The first one is compensation. So definition, we are going to learn what is compensation and its nature, forms of pay, and a pay model. So these are the topics that we are going to learn in chapter 1. So to make a beginning, here is a exhibit 1.1 which mentions hourly compensation costs for manufacturing workers in US dollars. So the source is the Bureau of Labor Statistics, April 2006. Though the data is old, but it gave us an idea of hourly compensation costs for manufacturing. So if you look at China, okay, it's $0.57 per hour. Okay, $0.57 per hour, which is the lowest in the exhibit. So that is the reason why, okay, you can understand now, you can correlate. So when we say most of the manufacturers are switching to China, so China has become a global manufacturing hub. Okay, because the cost per unit of goods manufactured in China is far more compared to other countries. So many of the companies, okay, like maybe Sony, Samsung, okay, or many of the mobile phone makers like Apple, okay, have their manufacturing plants are in China. So one of the reasons why the manufacturing cost is so low is the hourly compensation cost as it is visible in the exhibit. So $0.57 per hour. So if you compare to the extreme Norway, okay, the hourly compensation cost for manufacturing workers is $34. Okay, so $34.64 per hour. Okay, and one among the countries which you can compare is US, United States of America. Okay, so you can consider $23.17 per hour. Okay, is the wages for a manufacturing worker. So that is the reason why many companies prefer China as a manufacturing hub. Okay. Then next, let us learn what is compensation. So from two views, we are going to learn the definition of compensation. The first one is a manager's point of view. So from manager's point of view, compensation is a major expense. Okay. So for many organizations, the compensation paid to its employees is one of the major expenses. Okay. So it is used to influence employee. So compensation is used to influence employee behaviors and to improve the organization's performance. So compensation has two components. One is fixed and one is variable. So among the variable, you can consider commission or incentives. So how a company can influence employee using a compensation system. So in commission or incentive is a variable pay which is purely based on performance. Okay. So only if the employee performs, okay, he will receive the incentive or commission and his income will be better more than his other employees who have underperformed. So this way a company uses compensation to influence employee behavior and improve the organization's performance. I'll share a salary compensation structure of an organization in which we learn about this. So one more point of view, compensation defined from employees point of view. So for employees, compensation is a major source of financial security. So the income which is received as a compensation is used for satisfying the basic needs of the employees. So employees also view compensation as a return in an exchange between employer and themselves. So the employee is providing a service to the employer and in return employer is paying the compensation to employees. Entitlement compensation is also viewed as an entitlement for being an employee of the company. So since you are an employee of the company, you are entitled to receive the compensation. And also employees view compensation as a reward for the job well done. So this way managers and employees view differently compensation. Okay, now a formal definition of what is compensation. Compensation refers to all forms of financial returns and tangible services and benefits employees receive as part of an employment relationship. So I repeat, compensation refers to all forms of financial returns and tangible services and benefits employees receive as part of an employment relationship. So this definition I will interpret in detail in next slides, okay, where we learn forms of pay. I repeat, so this definition will be interpreted in detail in coming slides where we learn forms of pay. So before we learn the definition of compensation in detail, so let me share a salary structure from a real life example. So this salary structure is belongs to one of your senior students. Name will not be disclosed, and it is a HR recruitment and consultancy firm. So this compensation is offered to one of your seniors by a company which is into HR recruitment and consultancy. So if you look at the parts of the compensation, so as I said, in India, the term salary is also used for the word compensation. So kindly do not get confused. So there are heads and a monthly amount and annual amount is mentioned here. So in part A, first is the basic or the base pay, which is a fixed component of your salary or compensation. So in this example, it is 13,000. Annually, it is 1,56,000. Then HRA is house rent allowance, which is again fixed component. Okay, it is the measured as the percentage of your basic, 1,040 rupees monthly and 12,480 rupees yearly. Conveyance, okay, to travel from home to workplace and back from workplace to home, 1,600 per month, 19,200 annually. Special bonus of 1,250 rupees per month or 15,000 rupees annually. Then, so gross salary will be 16,890 rupees per month or 2 lakh 2,680 rupees per month. Now, other than this, PF is provident fund. So the employer will contribute to the provident fund of the employee. So employer will contribute 1,560 rupees per month to employee provident fund, which will be annually 18,720 rupees. So the total CTC here is the cost to company is 18,450 rupees per month and it is 2,21,400 per year. Other than this, the employee is also entitled for lunch benefits worth 2,200 rupees per month and insurance reimbursement which is paid annually 833 rupees monthly, okay, and 10,000 rupees maximum up to, okay, per year. Other than that, there are performance based incentives which are again paid annually up to 30,402. So annual cost to company of hiring one employee is 2,88,202 per year. Okay, so there are some notes here which quickly I will read. Provident fund, the employee will be covered under the Employees Provident Fund Scheme 1952, wherein the company will contribute towards Provident Fund at the statutory rate as defined by the Employee Provident Fund Scheme 1952. The employee's contribution and the company's contribution have been included as part of the above mentioned compensation. Employees contribution towards provident fund will be made from the monthly salary. So from your monthly salary, provident fund will be deducted. Performance bonus, okay, so which is 30,402, which is paid annually. Performance bonus will be calculated based on your team targets achieved. So as I said, incentive or commission is purely performance based. It is a variable pay. So I hope this example gives you a clear picture of what is compensation, and what exactly we are going to learn in this subject is how a company designed this compensation system and manages it. So as I said, the definition of compensation I will explain in detail when we reach forms of pay. So I repeat the definition once again. Compensation refers to all forms of financial returns, tangible services, and benefits employer receive as part of an employment relationship. So you can see those three parts here. So total returns, okay, total returns for work. So what an employee gets, okay, as part of the compensation. So these total returns, what we can see, the first one is the total compensation, which is a financial definitely, and again in total compensation, okay, which is a financial in cash compensation and benefits compensation. So when I say cash compensation, the basic salary, merit pay, or cost of living adjusted, short-term incentives, long-term incentives. We're going to learn them in detail in coming slides. Benefits include income protection, work-life balance, allowances, and there are non-financial returns also what an employee receives for being an employee of the organization. They are referred as relational returns, and these are purely psychological in nature. So I repeat, total compensation is financial in nature, and relational returns are psychological in nature, like recognition, employment security, challenging work environment, and learning opportunities. So let us learn about the total returns, okay, one by one. So the first one is total compensation. So as we saw here in the previous slide, total compensation, there is cash compensation and there are benefits. So let's learn first about cash compensation. Okay. So cash compensation is financial or transactional in nature. Okay. And there is a base wage. Okay. So base wage is nothing but the amount of money paid for the work done by the employee. So base wage is nothing but the amount paid by the employer, okay, for the work done by the employee. Say for example, a sales representative is hired by a company, and his sales targets are, let us say, 5 lakh rupees per month, okay, and his base wages are, okay, 25,000 rupees per month. So that means for achieving that minimum 5 lakh rupees sales per month, this employee is paid 25,000 rupees per month. So it is fixed. So base wage. At this outside, okay, so let us learn the small difference between wage and salary. So many a times even questions are asked during the personal interview. Okay, so this difference is based on the American Fair Standards Labor. Okay, so Fair Standards Labor. Okay, so where if an employee is paid, if the employee is paid on an hourly basis, and if the employee is also getting overtime pay, so there are some regulations mentioned. So if the employees are governed by the regulations for hourly wages and the overtime payment, so those employees usually are the workers, Okay, so who are paid wages and a salary. Okay, is the term referred for those employees who are not paid the hourly charges or OT charges. OT means overtime. So like managers. So managers payment is not made based on hourly. So that is the difference between wage and salary. Then second component of total compensation or cash compensation is a merit pay or cost of living adjustments. See, merit pay or merit increases are given in recognition of past work behavior. Say for example, an employee has been working good, okay, throughout the year, and he receives an increment at the end of the year. This amount of increment is predetermined based on the employee grade, and it is added to the base salary. So this is how the total overall salary increases after 1 year. So that is merit increases or merit pay. And second component is cost of living adjustments. Okay. So merit increases are based on performance. Okay, so all employees may not get the same merit pay as the performance varies. So the high performer gets the merit pay and the non-performers may not get the merit pay. But whereas cost of living adjustments are same increases to everyone regardless of their performance. Usually, okay, a company increases the salary based on the increase in the cost of living in the given country, and also looking at the other competitors how they're increasing their salaries. So forms of pay continued, cash compensation or transactional continued. So third one is incentives, which can be either short term or long term. So before we learn, couple of points. Incentives or variable pay. This is the pay increases directly to performance. So incentives or variable pay is directly related to performance. Okay. So when an employee achieves the targets set for the month or for the year, only in that case incentives are earned. I'll take you back to that example of compensation structure. So if we see here, performance based incentives, okay, paid annually 30,402 rupees. Okay, so what is the note? Performance bonus will be calculated based on your team targets achieved. Okay, so this 30,402, okay, entirely, okay, the employee will not be getting, or he may not get also. So whether he earns 30,402 or some part of it depends on his or her individual as well as team performance. Okay, so I hope the point is quite clear. Then, so a couple of points related to incentives. It does not increase base wage. See, what incentives the employee receives are separate. They are not added to the base wage or basic salary, and must be re-earned each pay period. So if the incentive, the pay period can be monthly, quarterly or annually, so they can be re-earned for each pay period. And the potential size of the incentives is generally known beforehand. See, in my example, okay, so the annual incentives are 30,402, which is already known by the employee, but the employee needs to earn it by way of achieving targets. Okay, these are short term incentives, and the long-term incentives include stock options. Stock options means employees are provided, okay, an option of purchasing equity shares of the company. So that is called the long-term incentives. The assumption of okay, providing an option to purchase equity shares of the company is the employee will become more responsible, will take the ownership and will work in a way which will enhance the long-term financial viability of the company. So other than that, okay, so if we can recall quickly, in the total compensation, there is benefits. So let us quickly go through and learn the benefits of the compensation. So income protection. So income protection is when an employee is unable to, okay, work. So how he will be protected? So when an employee does not receive salary, so how he will be protected? So this is generally through, okay, health insurance policies, life insurance policies, and so on. Provident fund, okay, which the employee will receive after retirement or maybe even pension. So these are the benefits what an employee will be getting in the form of income protection. Then work-life balance. Okay, say for example, uh, there are working couples. Okay, and if they have a child, okay, company may consider for flexible working hours for mother and father so that they can balance their personal life as well as work properly in the company. So this is just one example of the benefit received by a company, okay, to balance work life. Other than that, there are allowances. Say for example, transportation facility, travel allowance provided by the company, entertainment allowance provided by the company. So these are some of the benefits that an employee may receive as a part of the compensation. Okay, then the last part of forms of pay or total returns is non-financial returns, which are psychological in nature. The first one is a recognition and status. Say for example, tomorrow once you complete your MBA and if somebody, okay, you meet, okay, and he or she asks, who are you? So you may say, I am Mahesh. Okay, but which Mahesh? Okay, so the identity will be not very clear. But if you say, for example, so okay, I am Mahesh. Okay, I am department manager at DMart. See, the employment provides even recognition and status, which is psychological in nature. Second, such, okay, benefit is employment security. So since you are bound, okay, an employee is bound by the, okay, bond of employment with the employer, where he continues to work over a period of time. Okay, so the employee gets an employment security. Okay, and so when the employees work in a company, so they are also part of the challenging work environment, which keeps them moving towards their goals. Other than that, while working, the employees get plenty of opportunities to learn from their workplace. So these are the psychological benefits an employee receives. So this which constitutes the total returns of the compensation. Okay, so here I'll okay, pause for the session, but before I end, okay, let me discuss a news article from newspaper. Okay, so dear students, as I have been telling, if you read news, business news on a regular basis, you can find news related to most of the subjects. Okay, so I have told, and reading newspaper, okay, and reading related news to a business, it enables you to connect the subject, okay, with the corporate world. And also reading and analyzing business news related to subject enables you to understand the subject better. So this news which I am going to discuss in detail in brief is from Times of India, August 18, 2020, page 10 from Times Business. So the title goes like this: Working from home may prove more taxing. No actual spends, pay tax on conveyance, leave travel allowance, and house rent allowance. So I'm not going to read the news part, but there is a figure here, troubling times. So there are two columns for a CTC. Now you know what is CTC, cost to company. So for a CTC of 10 lakh rupees per annum, how much you will pay tax? Okay, so, and what will be your taxable salary? So these are the components of your compensation or components of your salary here. And this column deals with the bill submitted when you spend, okay, when you travel, Okay, so when you live in a rented house, okay, and so on. When you spend, how much tax you will pay, and when you don't spend because you are working from home, how much tax you pay. So that information is provided here. So first let me go through the salary components or components of compensation. So basic salary or base 4 lakh. So remember, this is the annual cost to company of 10 lakh rupees. So basic salary is 4 lakh rupees. House rent allowance 1 lakh 60,000 per annum. LTA leave travel allowance 20,000 per annum. Conveyance allowance 30,000 per annum. Telephone and broadband reimbursement 30,000 per annum. Meal coupons 26,400 per annum. Special allowance 3 lakh 33,600 per annum. So total cost to company is 10 lakh rupees. So now let us see. Okay, when the employees used to work from office or the workplace. So this is that. Okay. So here your total salary will be 7 lakh 6, sorry. So bills submitted, bills not submitted. Okay, so when you submit your bills, house rent allowance, LTA, leave travel allowance, telephone and broadband reimbursement, meal coupons, because you go to workplace, okay, and you spend all this, okay, and you have submitted your bill, okay. So that's why HRA, LTA, telephone and broadband reimbursement, meal coupons are deducted from taxable income. I repeat, deducted from taxable income. So your total salary will be 7,63,600, and standard deduction is allowed up to 50,000 rupees, and net taxable salary is 7,13,600. Even if you leave this, you can see the taxable salary here, which is 7,63,600. Then education says 2,209 rupees at 4%. So total tax paid when you work from office 57,429. So when you work from home, you don't submit bill, but you are entitled for these allowances. So they will be shown in your total cost to company or total compensation. So HRA is added 1,60,000, LTA is added 20,000, conveyance 30,000, telephone 30,000. Okay. So special. Okay. So when you add all this, your total taxable income is 9 lakh 73,600, and after a standard deduction of 50,000, your taxable net taxable salary is still 9 lakh 23,600, which is quite higher compared to when you work from office. So tax payable is 97,200 rupees when you are working from home. So when you work from office, you are supposed to pay 55,220 in this case. Okay. So education says at the rate of 4% is again higher, 3,889. So total tax, okay, the employee will pay in this case is 1,01,109. That is what the title says, working from home may prove more taxing. So dear students, so such a beautiful news article. So please develop that habit of reading news. Okay, as I said, for most of the subjects, okay, you will get news related to that particular subject, which will enable you to understand the subject properly, connect the subject with the corporate world, and broaden your knowledge. So that's all for this session. Now I'll open the session for interaction. So if you have any doubts, please ask your queries and clarify your doubts. Thank you.